I make a movie. I'm not doing it to launch anything or to work with any actor. These are not my primary thoughts. My primary thought is to make my movie and to tell this story in the best possible way. When you say that being the daughter of Sara Ali Khan is an expertise, I don't think so. You know, she has a certain privilege. Yes, of course, she's Sara's daughter. But when I worked with her, I don't think she had any film experience at all. She had not been to a film set also. Nothing is bigger than the movie. Yeah. So, and I do give a lot of newcomers a break, but I work very hard on them because they are part of my film, and and I expect the same from them. Yes, I've got a film coming up. It's got Aman Devgan, Rasha Thadani, and Ajay Devgan. But I think I'll just wait to announce it properly, and we'll do a separate announcement. Hi, this is Abhishek Kapoor, and you're watching me on Zoom channel.
Hi, this is Raveena Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me today I have Abhishek Kapoor, who has given us movies like Kaipoche, Kedarnath, Rock On, and many more such films. So welcoming him on Zoom channel.
Hi, Raveena, thank you.
So Abhishek, whenever I talk about your projects and the movies, you have launched new faces and you have given people Bollywood debuts. And Farhan Akhtar was one of those actors who got a Bollywood debut with Rock On. So tell me about, working on this one, and what idea did you have while making a film like this?
Well, I had actually just finished my earlier film, Aryan, which had not done very well at the box office. And I had worked very hard on that film, and it took me many years to complete it because it went through some financial problems as well. And I had finally released this movie, and it was a huge ordeal for me. And I was elated. I was so happy that I actually got a movie into the theater. And I was spending that weekend of its release by a poolside, and I had access to this iPod with that rotary mechanism. It had just come out. And just having access to some of the best bands, I was listening to some great music, and I was so inspired. I just had a movie that came out, and there was space in my system to get inspired. Sometimes when you're preoccupied with certain ventures, you don't have the room to get inspired for other things. And it hit me like a thunderbolt, all this music, like U2, Dave Matthews Band, and the various bands, Coldplay, and some of these extraordinary singers and their voices. And I felt like a movie like this is something that I would like to watch, and if I could make it, would be even better. And, to have rock music and to have Hindi lyrics, it had not been done before. And also a film about a band where the band is, the lead singer would sing his own songs. I think that would be something new to offer the audience, and if I can give them a very immersive experience as to the dynamics of a band and how they're making the music and all of that, they would appreciate it. And I think it paid off.
Also, the movie is something which sets very well even now for the college-going students, and even when they see something like this, and especially even now, when we go for such concerts, we always have that thought running in our head, like, maybe behind the stage, such things happen, that chaos, the fights between, Arjun and Farhan, for that matter, the actual, it looks so natural and all, the movie itself is something which was made for the very first time, I think, in India, which was completely dedicated to music band. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I don't know, but it was definitely one of the first few films, or I can't recollect another one, but it was a new experience. I think when it came out, it had quite an impact. I remember a lot of children wanting to pick up musical instruments to play, and their parents actually encouraging them to do so. Because this came out 2008, and people were, like investment banking was a very important job profile at that time. And Farhan played a banker, so he was like a success in the most popular success arena. So a lot of those banker communities and people who are educated and were aspiring for that, they could relate to it, because they all sacrificed certain dreams to make a living, and so there was a lot of relatability in a certain community. And I think the film was actually more than just about music. It was about relationships, and friendship. And I think that's why it resonated so deeply with people.
Personally, how much are you fond of music, and when do you choose to listen music? Like, when are your moods, when you prefer, like, listening music, when you consume music the most?
I mean, I have a very different lifestyle compared to somebody else who runs a business or has a job. When I'm making a movie, I am consumed by it like 24 hours, completely into it. So I have no room. And when the movie is over, I have a lot of time that I can use to create another idea or another story. And so it's pretty random on what my schedules for those periods of time are. I could sometimes listen to music like late into the night, or I could start my day listening to it. It just depends on what it is. And sometimes if I'm working on a story, I listen to music from that world. So, and the kind of movies I've done, the kind of stories I tell, I've told, they're very different from each other, and they demand a complete immersion in very different worlds. So it's not like I have a style, or I mean, I don't have. I'm not just making movies like Rock On, or making movies just like Fatur, or just Kedarnath. They're just one. Each of them is I think, a vertical in itself. You I'm every time I make a movie, I'm making a movie for the first time.
Abhishek, it's also been seen that the kind of projects you have worked on, you have also launched a lot of new faces. Sara Ali Khan, Sushant Singh Rajput, Rajkumar Rao, Amit Saad, even Farhan Akhtar for that matter. Sometimes I don't want to say sometimes, but when you're launching such new faces, do you also have a lot of pressure on you? Because what if their debut tanks, on the box, at the box office? Or what if it gives them a very big break and, of course, then it would make you happy. But what if there is a failure to that, attached to it? Does that make you a bit like, skeptical sometimes? And what exactly you go through while, having such actors on board?
I mean, when I make a movie, I'm not doing it to launch anybody or to work with any actor. These are not my primary thoughts. My primary thought is to make my movie and to tell the story in the best possible way. Uh, Sometimes my stories and ideas are so not your mainstream secure Bollywood spaces, and they require a giant leap from me as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, and from the actors if they are stars. To make a departure from what they are comfortable doing. And it demands that they come out of their comfort zone, to put it correctly. And I don't always strike lucky there. And also the kind of characters I've written, they're very young characters. And I think a primary movie going audience today is very young. So why should your today's 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 22-year-old look at a 35-year-old playing an 18-year-old, or a 50-year-old playing a 28-year-old? It's just not. It's cheating filmmaking. And on some level, it might not be the best thing to be, but I think I'm a bit of a purist. I try to, because I find making the stories I do very exhausting. And like, see, Farhan has had a lot of movie experience, and he had made films before. He has worked with some great actors, and his father's a brilliant writer. He comes from a family of filmmakers. So he knows what to do. But not all newcomers do. Some of them were brand new and they didn't know anything, and I had to groom them from zero. When you have to groom them from zero, means you have to bring them up from. They don't even sometimes know how to stand. They've never seen a camera before. They don't know how to face a camera. So you have to get in teachers, coaches, and work at them. Like, it just makes your job like 3 times harder to do that. But you do it because you're doing it for a film. You know, and I don't really think about what'll if they are what'll. I mean, there's so much money at stake. There is a story, there's a film at stake. There's so many people's careers at stake. It's not just the newcomer. The newcomer is just getting an opportunity, getting a break, and someone is putting the best effort into bringing out the best from them. That I think is enough in itself for a first time. So to think about if the film doesn't do well and what will happen to their career, I think they're asking for too much then. But yeah, if you ask me about my writer who has written that film for 2 years and his career is at stake, or my DOP, or my production designer, or my there are so many other music composers. They all have careers at stake, and they're all working very hard to bring this movie to fruition, whichever one it is. So there's a lot of responsibility other than just launching a new film.
Sometimes it's about launching a new phase, or say, directing a new phase. And sometimes it's about already someone belonging to the industry, but is making a debut. One such example was Sara Ali Khan, who was a part of your movie, and Kedarnath was her Bollywood debut. And at the same time, you yourself are a part of, of the industry, like, you belong to the to the Ekta Kapoor family and all. Do you feel there's this baggage when they already belong to a Bollywood family? There is this, thing that, oh my God, and there's this entire clout around them. Okay, if their debut is not a good film, or if they have not made a good mark out of it, they are judged, or, there is a lot of pressure on the director as well that, okay, let's see now, because they come with an expertise of like, being, she knows, Saif Ali Khan, she's, of course, the father of, Sara Ali Khan. And there are such conversations which take place. Do you feel that that also puts a baggage on the director for that matter?
Like when you say that being the daughter of Saif Ali Khan is an expertise, I don't think so. She has a certain privilege. Yes, of course, she's Saif's daughter. But when I worked with her, I don't think she had any film experience at all. She had not been to a film set also. And so, like, unlike Farhan, who has been on a film set, you cannot compare the two at all. She was brand new, and she works hard. She was very dedicated. She worked very hard. She was eager to learn, and uh, I was making a film called Kedarnath, which is about the tragedy where so many thousands of people died. It's the holiest temple in the world. So I think I had far bigger responsibilities uh, than just wondering you know, about whether she's going to get launched right or not. She's a part of my film, and she has to deliver for my film. My film is not going to deliver for her, And if she's not up to the game, then it is my duty and my responsibility as a filmmaker to just kind of whip things in shape so that the film has to succeed. There's someone who's put so much money on it, and that is somebody else altogether, who I have another responsibility towards. So nothing is bigger than the movie. Yeah. So, and I do give a lot of newcomers a break, but I work very hard on them because they are part of my film, and and I expect the same from them. If I'm giving 100%, they have to give me the 100%, and I'm more than happy with that. You do not have to. If I have chosen a new actor, all I expect is 100%. And the rest we leave to God, because if there is 100% purity in it, and we all give it that, whatever will be, will be. That's the best you can do, and one has to work for the joy of it. If you have to doing it for the money, there are other ways to make money, and if you're doing it to get popularity, there are 50 other ways of getting popular. So you have to do it because you love your craft and you love what you do.
Last two questions to you. The very first question to you is this, that nowadays, of course, and you yourself get so engrossed in script, of the movie. Now we have AI, which also can help, could be an advantage in, modifying scripts, or, could be somewhere where it could be a disaster because it also lets go of the original content which you see, be it on screen, be it like when it comes to writing and all, we are facing a lot of difficulties when AI comes into picture. What the way we write versus, what AI presents is very different. Do you also feel that that could be, it could be a boon, or it could be, what do you feel on that? I really want to know on that.
I think it's definitely concerning, but I think it's also depends uh, on where you are seated in this AI arena. Like I hear that uh, uh, concept visualizers are kind of going to get hit because of platforms like Midjourney. Is really churning out some imagery and some imagination. I mean, you give it a prompt and it gives you some great feedback. Even for writers, ChatGPT, it's all out there. So yeah, I think it's a challenging time for them. It's a challenging time, but for thinkers, if you're a thinker and uh, you can harness this beast also. You can get on top of it and know how to handle it. Because I think as concerning and as uh, daunting it may seem right now, but you have to harness this animal, or it will harness you. So people have to figure a way how to beat it. And I think the human spirit has done it before. and we'll find a way to use it as opposed to being used by it.
That's correct way to put it across. And I'm hoping that is how it should be. It should be carved because a lot of people in Hollywood have suffered because of AI. So that's why like I wanted to, know your version on this. Lastly, I want to know what are your upcoming projects. We hear that you're going to work with Rasha Thadani and she's going to make a debut with you. So I really wish to know about your upcoming projects.
Yes, I've got a film coming up. It's got Aman Devgan, Rasha Thadani, and Ajay Devgan. But I think I'll just wait to announce it properly, and we'll do a separate announcement on that.
Sure, Abhishek. Thank you so much for a lovely time and all the very best. I'm hoping to see more of you.
Nice talking to you.